Well, it's a complete set. It's 13 volumes.
And how long have you collected these?
No, I bought it as a set. It's not a great set. It's a bit chipped and worn.
It's wonderful.
But it is the original Yellow Book from 1894 to 97.
That's amazing.
And in the dead of winter, as I am at the end of the year, January, December babies, we have a sense of the world being dead. And I think that's part of why I've had this fascination with things ending, with things changing, with that period of time in English history between the wars, the end of the last century, and then into the 20s and 30s.
And you've had this ever since you were a child?
Always been fascinated by it. And then when you start studying literature and you start reading about people, and of course the house I grew up in is gone. And so that fascination for old houses and
that was in the Midwest. Remind me where?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. We had a farmhouse, and it's gone. And so that idea of houses being in love with a place, and the place is gone. So I've got caught up in it. And of course, when you have the history of the British aristocracy, you really are talking about the end of a world between the wars. And so...
Where's this?
So that's Panzanger House. It was one of 3 houses that were important to the Coopers, the Greys. Now we have Panzanger bookplate.
Good Lord. And where did you get this?
And the book sales. I did work at Sotheby's in the book department, so you do find things. And the library of Brockett Hall. Lady Desborough, inherited the house. She lived there till her death in 1952. And then they sold off the contents in 1953, the paintings. And here we have a list of the paintings. She gave Rosemary a huge old-fashioned key, and we went down a central corridor of tattered grandeur and into a long, high picture gallery where, when Rosemary had opened a creaking shutter, there appeared, through cobwebs, a Van Dyck?
No.
An Italian Renaissance Holy Family. A huge portrait of a soldier on a horse that could be, surely not, a Rembrandt? Rosemary said, yes, they say it is.
That's remarkable. George, is this the house you grew up in?
This is where I grew up. This is not Panzanger.
But it's rather lovely.
But...
So you've been collecting these books ever since you were a child?
Yeah.
And you were saying one thing leads to another. Do you know where it started?
The librarian in our little town helped me buy my first antique book. And it was called Beautiful Houses by a fellow Gibson. And it was Victorian Edwardian house. Located a copy, and I bought it.
And how did you know about that book?
It was in the library collection, and I would check it out. And Miss Halley, the librarian, said, would you like a copy of your own? I bet you would.